Can I ask a question to the single people?
Mm-hmm.
Do y'all want a person that challenges you?
Yeah, no, I think that'd be great. That'd be great. I mean, because they gonna motivate me to challenge me to get to the next level. I don't want a yes man.
I'm curious. Genuinely curious.
Apparently, I'm single, guys.
Oh.
Are you not?
Yes. No. To answer your question, yeah, I think it's a lot of fun when you can have that, especially if you both have at least a way of communicating, whether it's good or bad. I mean, it's really up to the other person. It's up to both of you to understand. Like, okay, I might not be communicating right, or I might not be understanding them right, or both. But in general, if I don't have that challenge, it's just like they're either looking at me for everything, and then at a certain point, I'm gonna get bored, or they don't care about at all. Like, it's either they're looking at me for every decision, or they don't care about anything that's happening, and it just tells me that they don't care about the relationship.
Can I offer a third option?
Nope.
They just let you be. And they coexist.
I was thinking that too. I was actually just thinking that like that actually would kind of be ideal too. Just somebody that'll let me freely be me. But I don't know if I would ever advance.
But at that
Or
point,
grow.
you're starting to think about like that kind of person, like long term. Like, is that the kind of long term relationship I want to be in? Somebody that's just not really seemingly invested, even if they are. Just seems like they aren't.
Heard you. Well, I only asked that because it's fucking difficult when people challenge you.
Yeah, I mean,
When it becomes a way of life.
yeah.
My thing is, in a relationship, just as much challenging of me that it should be that much support as well.
But it may not be like in the doses that you want when you want them.
Right.
Like, it might be challenging for 8 weeks and then good for 12 weeks.
Right.
Because you grew from the challenge and you learned and you enjoyed, and then you faced the next challenge and it was difficult for 3 weeks and good for 2 weeks.
Right. And I get it. You know, but
So you might just have long stretches of challenges.
At the same time, like, I want to be able to grow beyond this. Like, if we done went through this challenge, like, don't continuously hold this over my head because you see me in this phase of my life. I'm going to constantly grow, evolve, and change. Like, I change the things I'm interested in, the people I'm interested in. Like, I change up a lot of shit often. You know what I'm saying? And so what I need from my partner is to love me through all of my changes and to let me just be. Because I'm going to do that for you.
I hear that. May I offer a challenge?
No, because I'm tired of getting challenged. But what, nigga?
I think that was actually a really good example of being challenged isn't easy, but it helps you grow. And a good challenger at least kind of points a mirror at you and makes you look at yourself. And a bad challenger reacts to you and makes you look at yourself through their reactions.
Yeah.
But a challenge is a challenge, and it helps you grow.
I got a question for the non-singles. Do you guys
Fuck that bitch, bro.
Do you guys think your challenge is really just the communication and not the actual problem?
Great question, because I used to believe that every problem could be solved through communication.
Right.
I don't believe that anymore.
Amen.
I think certain things you have to change your mindset. You have to actually be better at these things and look at these things differently. Change the way that you act.
Right.
I think it's just I think action. you have to do things differently. You have to move differently. You have to think differently. I don't think it's just the way that you communicate. I do think that's significant, but I think action is more significant.
Because I don't know, the way I'm seeing it, it's like if there's an actual problem, the both of y'all can tackle it together. But if it's something about each other, then that's a one-sided problem, and that person is telling the other person about themselves. And is that not the problem, or is the original problem being handled?
Here's what I think. Relationships are two people. I would argue that all of the problems in the relationship are the two people. So the two options that you offered, we're both going to attack the problem or we're both going to attack each other, I think is in a lot of ways synonymous, because these problems that we're having are because of who we are and how we are interacting. So I think there's a lot of overlap there.
Right, like you
I
don't
think
think
it's a lot of overlap.
you don't think there's a lot of
overlap.
problems that you're cool with right now that like had you been single, you would let a lot of shit slide, but it's probably a problem that you're just okay with. And
I don't know what you mean by that.
And that,
Can I get an example? Is that a tough example to give?
I mean, we homies, so I don't know. Fucking forgetting shit, like a bill.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a problem to you by yourself, but when you're with others, it can be. And I'm assuming when somebody else has to challenge you on that, it's a weird conversation. It's like it's not something that everybody wants to talk about. So depending on how that person is able to communicate that, it can rub you the wrong way, or they can talk to you about it, and like you said, you can either take action and do something about it from here on now on, but they still felt some type of way about it, and at this point, no, it could go both ways depending on how it's handled.
That's the key, though. Like, attack the problem, not the person. And I think
But you the problem.
bro.
That's the
At the
example.
same time,
I'm sorry to say that because that's not honestly
At the same
the whole
time-
truth, but
you don't have to attack me. It's a way that you can come at me and talk to me and address this problem that we have. Even if I am the person that's the causer of this. I don't like it when you do X, Y, and Z. It's an uncomfortable conversation, but at the same time, like, depending on how you say that, you not attacking me.
I concur. That's where I say a good challenger will just hold the mirror up to you and let you look at yourself.
Mm-hmm.
A bad challenger will react and let you see yourself in their reaction. Heard. Heard.
I hope you brought an umbrella. Because it's raining cold, hard facts up in here.
Jesus.
And the way you communicate it is obviously very important, for sure.
Absolutely, man.
Don't communicate with me like some random on the street when I'm the person that you lay next to every night.
Bro,
I think
that's
your
the most
point
irritating
is,
thing in
like-
the world. If that's a word, irritating.
I think when communication is
It's
not the
irritating.
solution, it's because the other person is not
Listening?
good at communicating.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. That's what
Okay.
I was wanting to say.
I'll take
too.
that in.
I do feel like if
Even if you are.
communicating is the catalyst to enforcing that action that you was talking about, I feel like. No?
Communication is the catalyst to enforcing that feeling.
Enforcing,
action,
not enforcing the action that you was
Enforcing the
talking about.
action.
Like, to get to that action that you was
Okay.
talking about.
Okay. I hear that. I do hear that. But that's why I said action is more important, because we can keep talking about this shit, but
All
if you
day.
don't do
Quiet,
something
then nothing.
and show me a change behavior, then
Right, it ain't changing.
this shit is just stupid.
Also, what's the time limit on how long you can be mad on something I did after I quote unquote fixed it? Like you mad at me for not handling the trash because that's, I guess my responsibility. Or I haven't done dishes, but now I've been doing dishes every night for the past 3 weeks, and you still trying to bring it up?
You asking great questions tonight, Los. I got an answer, and I'm gonna speak personally. I've been beefing with my girl now for a couple weeks about something. And in this moment, what I feel like is you gotta let people be mad as long as they need to be mad. Mm-hmm. I don't want her to be mad anymore. I wish things were better. And it's making me mad how mad she is. And now I'm being a bad communicator, a bad challenger. And you just seeing my reaction to it instead of trying to show you what you're doing. You got to let people feel their feelings.
Is that right?
I think so, because when I'm upset, I don't want you to try to change my feeling. Let me feel my shit. Let me go through it. I need to feel it as long as I need to, reconcile it with myself, and then move forward. But I don't rush me through my feelings. Don't try to coerce me into feeling better before I'm ready. I'm mad, bitch. Let me be mad. I'm mad.
Like there's a point where you're like, okay, I'm just mad just to be mad. And at that point, I think I know you would stop being mad. Unless you're feeling petty.
Yes.
But I don't think of you as a petty person.
But here's what I'm running into with myself, and can only speak for me. People probably relate. I'll realize, all right, I've been mad about this for a long time, but I'm still mad. I don't want to be mad.
My pride is in the way now.
And so I try to start thinking about things differently. Like maybe it is my pride or the way that I'm choosing to think about this, making certain assumptions. Like, why am I so mad about this? Why can't I just accept it and move forward?
I think when you start thinking about that, you kind of already started to.
And sometimes I come to the conclusion that I'm really just mad at this shit. Like, this shit is personal to me. This shit hit me deep. This shit is personal to me. Like, she might have hit an insecurity. Like, she might have really hit a soft spot in me. She may have just done that. And I got to try to accept it and move forward. But that shit hurt, bruh.
I'm trying to
and
argue
I ain't like that shit.
I'm trying to argue it, but I get you.
So can I argue that when you feel like it's something that you're just mad and it's because of an insecurity, then maybe there's something that you try to communicate?
I was going to say, too,
it's
that...
It's not always an insecurity, though.
It
really could have did you dirty.
Instance, though.
I'm a great communicator, except when it comes to my insecurities. Then
you just shut down.
It's too many feelings. And it's like
so you just gonna rather keep yourself mad instead of communicating that, because once you communicate that, you'll feel better, I think.
It might be a difficult conversation. Like for me, I found another dark family secret that I'm not really happy with, where at this point I've been angry at my grandfather for years, and I have ignored all his phone calls or attempts to communicate with me for a long time now.
Right. Yeah.
And I consistently think why am I still mad at him? It's been years. He's an older gentleman. He's approaching Indian.
Indiana.
He's on fire.
But so it's why not just forgive him and establish some sort of relationship, in his later years, whatever. But nah, man,
cause fuck that.
Yeah, he did some foul ass shit, and I ain't cool with it.
Cause fuck that.
But have you ever tried to talk to him about it?
No, because I'm not supposed to know about this shit.
And what if I just don't want to talk to that nigga about that?
Right,
shit?
and even if I talk to him, it's not gonna change what he did.
It's not, but sometimes.
And he didn't do it to me. He did it to people I love.
Let me be mad.
Lord have mercy.
You did some shit that I'm gonna be mad about for years. Accept that shit.
I know, but sometimes it hurts.
Karma, consequences, bitch.
Everyone else already forgave him. Why should I?
But you hurt yourself even more by holding that type of stuff.
I think I'm gonna hurt myself more by allowing him in my life. I gotta think about number one.
Great rebuttal, because I don't know why you would say that.
By holding that in and not communicating, by harvesting those type of ill feelings.
You don't have to communicate it to the person to communicate it.
You're right. You could talk to somebody else about it. Absolutely.
Fuck that. That's what I'm saying. I used to say don't be cutting off like just anybody, even your parents, but fuck that, man.
Yeah.
People are people, bro.
Yeah.
Like just because they're your parent, your uncle, grandfather,
Your family.
that don't mean I need this person in my life.
Somebody else can easily cut this person off because of that foul shit that they did. Why can't you? Just because of blood?
Fuck that shit.
You're right. I can't argue.
Fuck that shit.
You're right. You're right. You're right.
But at the same time,
Shout out to Ace.
all relationships kind of challenge you on that mirror of yourself as well, because it's always an opportunity for you to grow in some way. Maybe this is a challenge for you to be maybe a more communicative person, or a person who works through deep-seated issues that don't take a little bit of time to figure out. Like, we gonna have to work on this for months.
Yeah.
And I'm willing to put in that time and effort.
Do you think women that challenge you are your type?
Yes.
I think they keep it interesting, right?
I think that's different. But yes.
I don't know why I've always been drawn to fire signs or like people who is completely different than my personality. You know what I'm saying?
Like, you never been with anybody who's exactly like you?
Opposites attract.
You don't think the same's attract?
I feel like they should, but then it probably get boring.
I think the sames could challenge you just as well.
I dated a person who I felt was the female me. I'm still mind fucked to this day. I don't know if it was positive or negative. Honestly,
I'm sure. Like,
Honestly, I don't.
That must have been an experience. Like,
Many years later, I don't know.
Wow.
I think it was good, but that might have also started everything going bad in my life since then. I don't know.
I'm sure it was like a very weird introspective look at yourself.
It was. I definitely looked at myself differently after that.
Have you started watching Loki?
Yeah.
Season 2? Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's kind of like Loki and Sylvie.
I hear you. I hear you. But anyways.
I mean, I haven't been in a relationship with anyone like me. Like, that'd be wild. Imagine that.
Yeah.
A Los and a car.
I would love to see it. A Carla.
Is that racist?
Carlos.
A Carlita. No.
I feel like Carlita is
sorry.
a little Carla.
Yeah.
I would love to see
Someone
it.
named Carlita
That should be weird.
You do? Where's she at?
in Texas.
Oh, okay.
Would y'all want to date yourself?
I was just trying to figure that out. Like, I think
I'd
I
be cool with
need
it.
someone as nurturing as me.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Or I would say it wouldn't hurt to date someone as nurturing as me.
Absolutely.
I'm triggered and I gotta
You
share.
need that.
I think people often think that they want someone who loves like them. But I don't know if we really want that. Again, maybe this is from a person who have done it.
But coming from somebody who treat people how we want to be treated, I think so.
The thing is, they're dating a person very similar to you who loves like you probably means that they have the same issues as you or very similar issues. And now y'all issues are also compounded. Like, I think that's why having a person who compliments you well is more important than having a person who does the same things as you. Like, we can both be nurturing, but if you know the downfalls or the challenges of being a nurturing person, if that person also has those challenges, that's a cycle that's going to be difficult to get out of.
Might be draining.
I hope you brought an umbrella. Cause it's raining cold hard facts up in here.
And how often do you guys feel like you actually know what you want? And how
many times did you get it and decide you ain't want that?
Child, hey, listen. I'll take a shot to
then
that.
how confident are you that other people know what they want?
And then when they get it, they don't want it either. And now you won't understand why they acting different.
Yeah, man. Listen, at this point, I'm just really ready to date myself. I swear to God, bro.
That's where I just came to the conclusion that, like, bro, like,
Y'all heard me,
I
my
got
shit.
so much growth to do, bro. Like, I'm just not ready right now, bro.
So y'all conclusion is y'all want to date yourself.
I do.
I mean,
That's
really.
crazy.
It sounds like y'all wasn't
At the
listening
same
to it.
time,
Right, that's the exact opposite conclusion you're supposed to come to. You just gonna fucking trauma bond and fucking be in a cycle of
That sounds-
whatever your greatest strength is and worst fear is.
Ace getting an erection out of all of that. Like, no, she said, "Ooh."
That shit gonna be enabling. That's what it becomes.
when I'm
Dating
saying,
you is just an enabler.
when I'm saying dating myself, I mean really just not dating anybody, but focusing on healing from whatever wounds that I have and being to that place to where I really can.
You ain't dating yourself, then you just self therapy.
I would make the argument that dating yourself is the exact opposite of dating someone who challenges you. That's the person who's going to make it the absolute easiest.
disagree.
And I think they're going to enable you in every single way possible.
I hear you,
Absolutely.
but I disagree. Because I also feel like knowing myself and the challenges that I have personally had to pull myself up through. It's a challenger in there somewhere. You know what I'm saying? It's a challenger in there, and she gonna do what she need to do.
Yeah.
Do you find yourself challenging others?
I am very challenging to other people. I do like to be right. You know what I'm saying? I do like to have my facts. I like to have my shit in order or whatever like that. So I think because I can challenge people. You know, I'm gonna challenge the way you think. Well, did you consider looking at it like this? I feel like I'll be challenged.
I don't like that. Because I just think, did you think about it like this? The answer is always yes. They're you. They think like you. The challenge is someone who thinks completely different of you.
I don't need someone who thinks completely different than me because I think I be right about a lot of shit.
So
I'm
think
right,
like me.
you're wrong.
Come on, guys.
Think
Come
like
on,
an
guys.
ace.
We don't see the cycle of enabling.
I mean,
And dating yourself.
I hear you, and I hear the possibility of that. But like I said, I think it's enough challenge in me that would challenge myself.
Heard. Maybe I'm projecting because I would enable the fuck out of myself.
No, yeah.
I mean, it'll definitely be a lot of that too. But at
Believe
the
in
same
yourself,
time,
Teasy, you know.
Right, like
Be dead ass wrong and don't want to hear about it.
I ain't going nowhere if I'm with myself. I'm
I ain't
here.
gotta worry about
I'm here.
nobody
We
leaving
staying
me.
here.
Oh, see, that's what I'm talking about. I don't know if that was the right one. But
Or you might start annoying you.
Oh no, I'm pretty dope.
Like I know.
Do you
other
ever
times
dislike
that
yourself?
that I swear I was right.
I
And I
dislike
was
myself
wrong.
a lot,
Oh, okay.
but I dislike myself off of other people's feelings. Unfortunately,
Heard you. Heard you.
I have moments I don't dislike. I dislike some actions I might do, but I don't think I ever dislike myself.
Phew. You a better man than me.
Today I learned that we like to live in Egypt because we're in denial.
Ayo.
knee slap.
Like I said, I love a good self-loathing pod. Or self-loathing talk.